like, you asked me a question. You asked me why did I start podcasting?
Yeah.
I love talking to people.
Same.
If you know my wife, she's always like, once I said it, she's like, you know what, that would be great because you don't shut up. So that's
that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, how did that go? With like, was that a conversation you were having with your wife beforehand for a while, and then it happened?
So I would talk to my friends. First, it started with my friends. I have this group of friends. We watch fights and basketball. Those are the sports that I play. So we will meet up, watch every game, discuss every game. We'll meet up, watch every fight, pay-per-view. At somebody's house, we'll always meet up and discuss fights. Yeah. So I was always like, man, we should do a podcast. We're kind of doing it anyway.
Wait, have you talked about any of this before? Like how you
not to this extent. No, I talked to it with my friends, but not on like an actual camera.
This will be the episode. It will be like it's an interview to him.
Exactly. You guys asked. Yeah, I want to know how you guys got started. Also.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I got started. I pretty much just wanted to have a way of connecting with people. Once you have kids and get older, like clubbing, like how do you meet new people? Once you're a husband, you have kids, how do you meet just random people? And you like, it kind of just dies once you become a dad and becoming that lifestyle. Like, to me, other than clubbing or like going to random, how do you meet people? So I was like, how do I attract them to me?
Podcast.
Also, how did I make them come to me? Podcast. So it was that's how my mentality was towards it.
That's brilliant.
Then
the spotlight.
Yeah, and then it was like, there's no studios around here. Okay, cool. There's no studios around here. So I kept like, all right, well, that means I got to open up a studio. And I did it just because I was like, all right, well, there's COVID. I got time. I have nothing to do. This place was very cheap when I got it. My sister had a business right down on the first floor. So it kind of just all worked together. This place was a radio station. Before I got it, there was a bunch of equipment already that I used to start and learn.
So
I have mics.
About podcasts before you started?
How to talk.
Did you know anything about what you were going to do?
No,
what kind of cameras you needed? What kind of mic
nothing.
You needed?
Nothing. I knew nothing about anything. Just me and my friend. I don't know if you know him. He went to school with us too. David Bow. Shout out to him. He's part of the studio. He's never here. For different reasons. He moved, so it's kind of far away. But me and him would just come here, spend 2-3 hours figuring things out. We're like, all right, trial and error. This mics don't work. This lights don't work. This camera shuts off every 30 minutes. What's going on? And just kept going for a whole year. It took us a whole year to like build it and learn.
Got it.
And then after the year, I like a group of my friends wanted to start a podcast. They came, and then it just kind of started the ball rolling.
How many, like a year into it, do you think other people got involved?
Yeah, a year into it. So they've been going on for 2 years, those two other. So I've been, the studio's been open for, it took me 3 years. They've been going on for 2 years.
So yours
nonstop.
Is 3 years. That's 2 years.
Yeah.
What about the other one?
2 years as well.
2 years.
That's
crazy. And how much have you built over the years? Obviously, you started with 0 followers. What do you have now on the main one?
On this one, I think it's about 300 followers on that one.
Okay.
This was, like I said, I kind of taken a step back from that one. The other two are both over 1,000 followers on YouTube.
Damn.
All real, no bots, no nothing.
Real ones.
Yeah, and they're actually doing pretty good. We've been invited to a few shows. Some are pretty high level, like Dominicanissimo.
Okay.
Which is done by the father of Santiago, Matias Alofoque. I don't know if you guys know who that is. Big Dominican influencer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Influencer.
So his father has a radio station in Lawrence. So he's been here to the podcast. We've been to his radio station, and he invited us to the show. We got invited a few months ago to another one in Lawrence, and it's kind of growing. Like, them two are doing pretty well. Like, we have people that just constantly keep asking us for interviews. They got some sponsorships already. So yeah, it's.
Are you on anything else besides YouTube, like TikTok, Instagram?
Yeah, we have all. Yeah, yep. Spotify, TikTok, Facebook, all of them. Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so it's just like a natural organic growth that just keeps building and building and building.
Yeah.
Is there okay? So I think my question would be, was there a time that you like doubted yourself? I think everybody goes through that step that you're like, am I growing fast enough? Am I doing the thing? And at what time? Because I think it gets a time that you have to almost forget about the numbers and all of those things and allow it that to be something passionate about.
I don't look at the numbers. The guys that we have the podcast, we don't look at the numbers. It just kind of grows by itself. Like the way we look at it is we come and have fun. Okay. We talk about what we want to talk about. We drink, we eat. There's no timetable. Like sometimes we're here for an hour. If that's what it feels like, that's what we're doing. Sometimes it's 3 hours, and we just here shooting the shit, and I'm recording. A lot of times we record stuff and it's never gonna come out because we just go personal. Everybody opens up kind of, and we just like, you know what? Nah, that's not for nobody. That's for us. We just keep it in the vault, and nobody,
No one has.
It's just for us. It was just somebody's having a bad day, and we just sat here, and that's what came up when we talked about it. And it might be too personal, where we're like, that's not for nobody. That's for us. That's the way we look at it, and that's my advice to anybody. If this is a grind, this is not an overnight thing.
Yep.
And if you're like constantly just focusing on what numbers are you doing when you're starting, it's hard. At least for us, like, they have 1,000 followers. Like I said, it's taking 2 years. I don't know if that's good or bad. Some people reached 1,000 in 5 years. We reached in 2. Some people reach 1,000 in a few months. So it all depends, but I don't think looking at the numbers is healthy.
I get that. I think we are.
I'm
definitely speak for us.
I'm definitely number centric.
Yeah, like I feel like we are in that in between period that I feel like maybe eventually will come full circle. Which I think at the beginning it was such okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes. And now because times have passed, it becomes a point of comparison.
Yeah.
How a video did compared to another one. How another one did with another one. Are we going up? And I think as good as it is to keep that going, because that allows you to have a point of reference to where you want to go for. I think we should never get too far away from just enjoying the moment and see where things go from there. How you feel about that?
I agree.
Because I think you're very number.
I agree and I disagree. I think you should have fun along the journey. If you're spending a lot of money on a podcast.
Yeah.
And I think it's different if you own it because the cost isn't associated at the same level.
Yeah.
When we have, even our growth now is kind of insane. Our last 4 videos or reels, besides the one that we launched today, I think the average is like 2,500 views on Instagram. TikTok's a little lower. YouTube is kind of building up a little bit. But I think Instagram for us, we have a lot of people that are following us that I think someone today was like, 300,000 followers. And it's, even though it's slow and progressive, the question, for me at least, it's you have this buildup, you have the momentum, and you have a lot of people that are, which I hate on every level, silently following.
Oh
yeah.
And it's in person, they'll tell you it's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, man, I know what your volume is or who your followers and your influences.
Yeah.
You're telling me this in person.
It will help if you would do it. Yeah.
Just repost, just say something, just comment. Because the reach that we have and the reach that's being projected is not the same reach or in perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's always going to be like that to a certain extent in the beginning, just because a lot of people, just let's keep it honest, there's a lot of people that you guys know in the beginning, and a lot of people just watching, they don't want to click like, or they feel embarrassed. It could be, I don't know, but it's normal. I think everybody goes through that. But when it comes to the numbers, it's just, I went through it where it was just this high and low, where we have videos. We had a video that went to like 300,000 views, right? And then you're like, oh my God, right? And then all of a sudden you go back down to your regular basis. That was just a one-off. And then you go through this roller coaster kind of, and then like, I don't know, I was just like, it's not healthy, but I do understand what you mean by if you're investing a lot of money. Of course, you kind of have to have a sense of the growth and why you're spending the money. Both all the podcasts that are here, everything's very like the deals that I have with them is very budget friendly for them. So we come up with a price where we're like, all right, what doesn't hurt nobody here? So we could just be free and we're not worried about this. Nobody's worrying about what they're paying for the studio. And I could honestly say you could talk to all the guys here and they will tell you, we're not worried about it. That's why it's just fun. Yeah. That's why we just go have fun. We're like, whatever we spend here, we will go spend at a club, at a bar, any other place, and we'll be 3 times as more. So it's fine. You know, that's the way we look at it. When we want to show up, we don't show up. We drop episodes twice a week on both. We drop 2 episodes on YouTube every week. We've been doing that for 2 years straight, nonstop. And we have in the vault, we have up to 10 episodes in store, just in case if for 1 week we're not going, doesn't feel like it. Next day, we're not going, doesn't feel like it. We don't feel like nobody else notices. The public doesn't notice that we haven't been in the studio for a month, but and that's why, like I said, sometimes we come in and it is work. We're like, you know what? The vault is a little low. We need episodes. All right, let's lock in 5 hours today. We're just gonna kill 6-7 episodes in one day. Then we just store them. So that helps in that aspect of, you know, like you said, not having to look at the numbers. But I understand if you're spending a lot of money. But like I said, the studio, the way I do it, since I didn't do it with the vision of a business, it just turned out that way. I always make sure that I don't charge anybody too much, because I know this is for a long, this is going to be for a while.
For a long time.
And if you're charging somebody $1,000 or you something crazy a month, it's not going to last probably. Because like I said, this is, it takes a while. But before we keep going, guys, let's introduce the show. Let's introduce each other because we're just going way ahead.
Go right in.
Welcome to E.D.J. Studios. This is the E.D.J. podcast. And we have 2 guests. They have their own podcast. Introduce yourself, guys.
Go ahead, Gordon. You go first.
It's straightforward. That's the podcast name.
Straightforward or not?
Or not.
Or not.
Okay. Or not. All right.
You have to put the or not on.
The or not is
or
the
not.
best.
I'm the or not.
I like it.
It is and I'm Gordon Weinstein, the straightforward part of or not. Or straightforward or not. And this is
Jeffrey Cruz, the or not part.
So what is your podcast about, basically? If there's about anything, like mine, like I said, it's about anything, pretty much anything.
Okay, so our podcast is based on a single topic that we do every single week. So every single week is different. We talk about one single thing, and that's that we allow to develop, have different perspectives on it, have different points of view on it. And so what else would you describe it as?
That's the big part, and it's at the end. It's you have these 2 people that with different points, and they still come together at the end of the day. With our society, that's in shambles, and people argue and they will argue to the day they die, and they would rather not be friends and have an ego rather than not. And I think the whole point is, you know what? You can show that things are possible. You can show that people from different backgrounds can come together, and as you can see, how we dress, who we are, there's a difference.
How we dress?
No, but here's the thing. It's not bad. You dress how you like, I dress how I like. And that's the best part, is because it's differences.
I felt attacked there for a second.
I'm white as a head, and I love dressing in suits. Like, no ties. And this is
more casual. More casual.
Yeah. But this is, the thing is, it's who we are.
Yeah.
And it represents who we are. It's not like there's any negativity. It's the positive aspect of it. And obviously, we have a lot of hate. That's what people love on every single level. Why, I don't even know. But it's like, this is who we are. This is what we represent. And we're trying to show the world, even though it's an uphill battle on every single level, like we're climbing the mountain of, or what is it? I don't know, K2 at this point. Jesus.
I think that's awesome because, like, who wants to be with somebody that's just like them or thinks just like them? To me, that's boring.
People.
That's boring. That is so boring. So, like, the cool thing about one of the podcasts that we do is everybody's different. All four of us are completely different people.
Wait, what is it called?
One of them is called Los Malazos. Is translation,
what's
the bad guys, but we're not really bad.
Malazos.
But nobody's really bad. I don't know why that name it confuses people.
But I love the name. It's amazing name on every level.
Yeah, and then we have El Show de Chuchi, which is my friend. His name is Chuchi Estilo. So that's his show. And basically, there's a bunch of other panelists in that show as well. And every single person is completely from a different background. Some are, an engineer. Another one is, hairstylist. The other one does, I think he does investing. So it's all different background. And then there's me.
Come on. He's like, I'll play some fun in it. Here it is.
And then we just discuss topics like you guys do. And everybody's free to give their opinion. When we disagree, we disagree. And when we agree, it's completely fine. So give me a topic. One of the topics that you guys have done. What's your latest episode that you guys did? What was the latest topic?
The latest one that we just released on Tuesday was dating.
Okay.
And I know. And
I've been off dating for a long time. I do not know anything about this. I'm glad I don't, because from afar, it looks terrible.
From the close, it's even worse than it looks.
No. Okay, I'm going to say something a little bit controversial. Okay, so here's how I feel about it. Nah, it's funny how we're going into the topic. I dated somebody for a long time in my 20s. For 8 years. It was all of my 20s. I ended when I was in my 30s. And for me, I always wonder, like, what is better? Because sometimes, like, when you do date somebody when you're in your 20s, it's really, really hard for you to grow and develop with somebody and not have them hold you to the same standard that you were before. Because for me, I do not know how that would work, because in my relationship, that was one of the issues, besides cheating. But that's for another day.
Oh, that's the minor part.
We don't focus about that right now. That's not the point of him. But I knew that he saw me as a person that he met 7 years ago, 6 years ago. And I'm not that person anymore. I'm different. I have changed. I have developed. So it's hard sometimes for you to be able to grow and develop with somebody at the same pace, and you don't go in different directions. So for me now, dating in my 30s, it's different, because I truly know who I am, what I want, not just because of what I can offer right now, but due to the mistakes that I have made before. So I wonder, from your perspective, how it is to grow, develop, and not only not hold yourself accountable to who your person that you're with is now, and not compare them who
they were before.
Go ahead.
I think it has to do with this is a very good question and very good topic. But I think you have to give each other the freedom to change, and there's certain cores of a person that shouldn't change, right?
Yeah.
Like, is this person a nice person? Is this person trustworthy? Is like those certain cores of things, like those shouldn't change, because of course, those are kind of, you don't want to start dating an angel and all of a sudden this turns into a devil. That's too far of a change. But if you're with somebody when you're young, you can't expect them to not grow.
Yep.
So I think you're going to have to learn and appreciate and help in that growth. Like you asked me about my wife, me starting a podcast in my 30s with 2 kids, and me deciding to spend money on something that maybe we could have done something else as a family. that my wife could have been like, no, I don't support that. I don't agree with that. And she never did that. She was like, you know what? You talk about it enough. Let's do it. She saw that I was very interested. She saw the work that I was doing to try to achieve this. So she was like, I don't see no problem. Why would I get it in the way of that? So I guess that would be my answer. You kind of have to be willing to grow with each other. And it is beautiful as you start seeing the other person grow to the person and help that person to grow in whatever they want to grow, not the vision that you have for that person. Mm-hmm. Because that's controlling. That's something else.
But I think it has to do with I think you have to be in love with who somebody truly is to their core, not just necessarily what they can provide for you right now. I feel so people get in love with the things in the moment, and sometimes those moments can change. Those things can change. Just for example, like a woman that is with a man that is able to provide a lot for her.
Yeah.
How about if she falls in love with that version of you just being a provider? Yeah. How about the day that you're not?
Yeah.
100%.
In my case, so like, and he knows, like I said, me and Jeffrey go way back. Me and my wife have been together since before she was living her parents' house. I was living at my parents' house.
Yeah.
And there was years before that changed. We've been together for that long. So when we decided to like move in together, and because it was more like a joint thing, and it was never of like, well, I made more money, so I pay the majority of the bills, because it's just normal. That's what you do.
Yeah.
So it's kind of different for us, I guess, or my experience, because we just grew together and like everything, from the beginning. How we gonna split bills? How is all that stuff gonna work? So I guess we don't have that, because we just grew together from the beginning. And I don't know anything else, but I do understand what you're saying about some people being with somebody because of an aspect of what they do, not the whole entire person.
The whole entire thing.
I have a question on that, or a couple.
Okay.
One, does it differ between straight and gay or lesbian, right? Heterosexual and
that's a good question. Yeah.
And number two,
can anybody answer that?
Exactly. On here. And then number two, you have the superficial relationships, and you have the people that are more in depth.
Yeah.
Right. Which is hard to look from the inside perspective, because it's just you're in love, but from the outside it's a different perspective. The outside doesn't matter in that case, but the inside is a different level. And then I guess the other thing is, like, as we grow and cheating becomes more easily available, like, right? Everyone has apps, everyone has phones.
Yeah.
I don't know why you looked at me.
I mean, hey, look, I'm not looking at you.
Like, what happened?
I know, right? In that direction. Who knows?
There's somebody in that direction.
There's a magical person next to but you have the ability available. Like, how many apps is there now that you can cheat on?
Yeah.
I mean, then
not necessarily cheat. You mean
no? I'm saying cheat because the question is, if you're flirting with someone online in your relationship, for me that's cheating, because you're entertaining the idea.
I believe that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's how many people nowadays entertain the idea compared to before social media. You don't have that aspect.
That's true.
And how long have you been in the relationship? Just
16 years.
When you started dating,
1975.
1975. There we go.
Long time ago. Everything's completely different now. If I had to go back in the dating pool, I wouldn't even know what to do.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Please do not go back in the dating pool. You were in a good zone. Don't go
No.
But it's just so different nowadays.
Yeah. And social media, it's definitely hurt a lot of it because of the access people have.
That's the thing. And I'm going to say something. I don't think that it have changed. I think what it is that the information is not available nowadays. Like before, like when somebody cheats and you can find out because through online Instagram posts X, Y, and Z. Before, men will have a whole entire other wife in another city.
That's true.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah, we're Dominicans. We know all about this. You might find out 10 years later you have a brother. And we're like, what?
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with that. Here's the thing.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I think cheating was a lot easier to not get caught. I still don't think it.
Yeah, back in the days.
Back in the days, it's easier because you don't have. How are you gonna do it? Send mail? Send a pigeon?
No, I think it was easy to cheat. It was hard to get caught.
It is hard to get caught, but I think cheating was a lot less.
I believe cheating was less because of just the access level. So like, you know, you
have
now
to put,
like
you
a
have to
guy,
put more effort to it nowadays.
less effort now. Back then you had to put more effort.
Okay.
Because like now you just see somebody, oh hey, what's up? You got the access right away through the phone. Before it was like, I have to take this person out on a date. I have to like meet up with this person. It was harder, more effort back then. Now it's just
More effort to get, but it was easier to maintain
Yes,
Yeah.
because you kept everybody in the world.
Yeah.
keep them in their own world, but at the same time, it's like if you're going on a date with someone, you now eliminated half the places you can go because you know people or
Oh,
potential.
back in the deal, you can. You
Right?
Yeah.
Like you gotta go different states.
Yeah.
Go different states, go get different continent, go different country. Like you take your pick.
Just for just for so everybody's aware. So I'm in a relationship. Are you guys in a relationship or no?
Right
Everybody's
now, I'm single.
Single.
Dating, but
Oh,
single.
complicated.
No, it's not
gonna say
complicated.
complicated.
It's not complicated.
Okay.
I'm dating.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
And-
fairly new. So for me, that's why I'm like, I don't want to be like, yeah, and this motherfucker do something.
I mean, yeah, you know what?
You know what it is? I'm the type of person. I don't know. Maybe because I've been in long-term relationships. I've had relationships afterwards that it's hard for me to believe sometimes. So I'm the type of person that I like to live my seasons. That's what I call it. I need to see you in summer, winter, all of the above. Because I've had a lot of people in my life be like, this is how I am when I'm mad. This is me when I'm sad. No, because currently when you're talking to me, you're not mad. You're not upset. Sometimes the only way that you get to see somebody's true colors is when you see them in that moment, feeling that way. Because
Yeah.
for me, I've had people that will say, I'll be there or whatever. And then when the time comes, then they're not. Or how about they that maybe are not my best, are not my greatest? How are you going to treat me then?
Or how are you gonna react to that version
Correct.
of me? Yeah.
So for me, I have lost a lot of people in my life where when I was there for them, they were
not-
there.
Yeah.
When it was all about them, everybody was happy. But then when I got sick and everything like that, and I couldn't be there for those people, what happened? They didn't.
Done.
And sometimes I don't even blame them for it because I got them used to the idea of me being there for them.
That's a good point. At least you recognize it.
Yeah.
At least
that's
you
the
take
only version
yeah.
they know is me being there for
Yeah.
them. So later on, they didn't even know how to be there for me because that's not the type of relationship that they were used to it.
Yeah.
I counter that. I think you were right in the sense of like you knew, but I still think shame on them for not being
Of
there
course.
with them.
Yes. Of
And
course.
there's a certain level of responsibility where people like to push the blame even though they know they're doing wrong. And you can't have double standards in life, which most
Yeah.
people have, of I'm going to hold myself to this, but I'm going to hold you to this. And I understand that.
Yeah.
And people play dumb. They know what they're doing. And I've realized in life, there's very few situations in life, maybe 10% if you're lucky. And that's a lot of the times on the generous side, where it's a conscious or self-conscious level, they know what they're doing.
I think 100%. I think they know exactly what they're doing, and a lot of people give themselves a pass because they're like, "Well, I know that I'm taking advantage, but he's letting himself take advantage, so it's not my fault." So they clear the conscience with that. Well, it's not my fault because they're letting themselves get taken advantage, which. That doesn't take away that you're still a bad person. Yeah. It doesn't take that part away.
I see it that way, but for me, I think the best way that I feel a lot of people get comfort from playing the victim in their situation.
Yeah.
I don't. That doesn't bring me any comfort.
That is good.
That for me, that doesn't do anything for me. For
There's
me,
no
I
growth.
always play like, okay, why did I get here? What's the reason? What do I need to? What made that person feel comfortable to treat me that way? And so for me, that's what I do, and I allow myself to not the victim of anybody and just take accountability for myself, and that's all I can do.
That is great. That is a great mindset.
That's all I can do because I think even I don't know, it just helps you in life. Like even us, we have had our moments.
True. We have.
Yeah.
We have 100%.
But I'm sure we have different approach into things. I think we have different boundaries into things. And that's why I have a hard time seeing people. I hate when people are like, this person's good, this person's bad. I don't think so. I think there's a spectrum into things.
Yes.
And it fluctuates. Nobody's truly bad. Nobody's truly good. It all depends different scenarios and different things and different perspectives. I'm sure there are times that you've been upset with me and things. And maybe later on when you're allowed to reflect on it, you're allowed to see me for what I was trying to do and not just the moment.
Yes and no. And I'm not going to say necessarily on what we were doing, but I think in life and perspective, I think there's a certain level where people, obviously you have to understand what people are doing to a certain degree, and you have to understand the scope of the situation, what's going on in different perspectives. I still, at the end of the day, am a firm believer that there's right and wrong to a certain degree, morals and values of where you can across and what you can't do. And obviously nowadays, let's not even try to get into that.
Yeah,
like the leaders and role models and politicians.
It is so blurred.
It's a headache on every level. But I think there's a level what people understand to a certain degree of what they're doing, or necessarily maybe it's something they've done so much where people haven't called them out and it's become part of their habits and patterns and rituals.
Yes.
Where there's I have, and I'm more of a black and white person. We both know that. Not everyone knows it. I'm more of a black and white, especially on morals and values, because I think at the end of the day, I try not to do double standards. I try to hold myself to a higher regard because I understand the deficiencies within life and within what people are doing, right? And everything's coming out now. You have role models that are pretending, you have people that are pretending, you have people that are trying, you have all these negative things that are coming out. Who do people look up to? Who's doing the right and wrong? And I think to amplify that, sometimes you need to be in a black and white situation for people to get and understand that point across. And it's so terrible nowadays that we don't have role models or people that people can look up to. Like, amount of people that have been either in the Epstein files or the Diddy files God, whatever files else that comes out of it, or like Jesus. There's probably about 3 people now that I could think of that are role models that people should look up to. Like, and that's sad. How many people are actually looked up to? You have the Kardashians, for example.
Don't come from my
family. I'm coming from the family. Everyone looks up to them, but like they're in the Diddy files.
Yeah.
And it's not even close.
Not really.
Right? Like there's a lot of rumors that's swirling around. You have all these negativities about them. And it's not like, okay, great body shaming or this or that. There's like some real dark things coming out.
Yeah. I mean, that's next level, you know, what's happening in that aspect of things. To me, I think when it comes to the role models part of it, I think it's harder to find just because, you know, everybody's who's the biggest voice, and a lot of the people who are the biggest voices, all they're doing is talking about what's going to make them bigger. There's no substance behind it. So the people tend to follow who's the biggest, not who's the best. It's just like, well, he's the biggest, he's making so much money, let me copy that. And I think that's an issue we're having, especially with social media. Wrong things get highlighted,
I think
a lot.
The issue is social media. And not social media. I think the problem is the way that we consume things.
Well, it's like, not to cut you off, but it was like, you know, the family that you guys mentioned, the Kardashians. It was like, you know, what they did. Continue. What they did worked. Everybody saw that it worked, and everybody tried to copy that. And I don't think that's necessarily was a good for the host. It was good for their family. I don't think it was good for overall everybody. And it's not their fault. I mean, to be honest, did they know that what they were doing was probably bad for, let's say, some young girls, or, you know, probably, but it worked for what they wanted. It would just to get bigger.
Sometimes can you blame the consumer or the seller?
Yes. Where's that line?
Where's that line draws? But
it's both. Well, no, let you go. No, I don't want to cut out.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody, for giving me my time. Damn, I forgot. No, I had a great point. I swear to God.
Oh, it happens. It happens so
was
much.
Good. Go ahead, somebody talking. I'm going to remember.
It's both, and I want to hear your role models after, and I want to hear both.
Oh, now I got it. See, the
Okay.
second you started talking, I was like, I got it. No, I think the problem of everything is the way that we consume information. So what happens back in the days, people all consumed the same information.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came from 1 to 3 sources, but in a sense, you made it with the idea of you wanted the masses to consume this information. What the internet does is based on an algorithm.
Yeah.
So what it does is, for example, if you want to believe that the moon is made of cheese, and you keep typing that and you keep looking that, guess what? Anybody else who thinks that the moon is made of cheese, all of that is going to pop up in your algorithm. That's going to show up. So that's going to, whatever conspiracy theory, whatever you want to believe on, it's going to confirm it. It's going to keep giving you more of what you want.
Yeah.
So it divides us in a sense because you're not consuming this information over here that can be factual. You keep consuming the things that give you the narrative that you want.
Yep.
So it keeps separating us because they're like, no, this is true. Look at it.
Yeah.
The Instagram always tells me. This always tells me. And it's because it gives you what you want to hear.
Yeah, that's true. And for your question about my role models, I think, and it's changed, of course, over time. I consider myself an athlete. Don't look like it right now, but it was always like sports, right? It was always Michael Jordan, like baseball, David Ortiz, or whoever. Those started with that, and then it kind of switched to and it happened with like you talk about Diddy, right? For the longest time, we thought this guy was just a brilliant musical artist mogul that a lot of people probably were like, yo, I want to be like that guy, not knowing what's behind all that dark stuff behind him, right? So I kind of switched into like, who are the people that I know that I could touch, that's influenced me for real.
Yeah.
And those became my role models. So like, of course, my mom and my dad, I seen them come to this country from nothing and to what they built. I could say they're a role model. One of my bosses, Mr. Ron Lucas, he's like 70 something years old. I've been working with him for like 10 years. He's a role model. I see it every day. I see a person follow, say what they mean, do what they say they're going to do. His favorite quote, he's always telling me, I'm not built that way. And he basically says that, when we had COVID, the company was going to close. He could have let go a lot of people. He's like, you know what? He's 70 years old. He's like, I'm not built that way. I'm not going to quit and close down on a business just because of this. Even though I'm 70, he had all right to say, let's close all of this down. What do I care? He's like, you know what? I'm not going to let this business just close. I'm not built that way. Mm-hmm. That's a role model I have, So that's when the people around me, those are my role models, because I could see the famous people. We've learned that we really don't know them. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to
But
to
that's
say.
how I feel with role models that I don't understand, because I think people correlate role models with famous people.
Yeah.
They do.
I don't see one thing that has to do with the other one. I can love Beyonce from here to the moon. I don't, but that's not the point. I don't. People are like, "Gay man like Beyonce." That's not the point right now. But that had nothing to do with that. Doesn't do anything for me. For me, it's like, oh God, you're a great singer. Good for that. To me, that's not a role model. Oh, you're a great actor. That's not a role model.
Yeah.
Role model to me is somebody that does something that I look up to. If somebody that maybe is an athlete and I think that is predominantly more white people, and there's somebody of color, I think I'm like, oh my God, how much diversity they had to get through to get to that. Or maybe they have some kind of foundation or something like that gives back. Love that. But you being a singer, you being an actor, that doesn't. You're a great actor. That's what you are.
You're great at your job. It doesn't mean you're a good person per se, all around.
Nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
You can sing and high note like Whitney Houston did, and she was still a crackhead. That's what,
She's so crackhead.
love her. Love her.
She's amazing.
Love her.
Her singing is
beautiful voice.
Well, people associate the two. They think power means you're a good person.
Yeah.
And when you have a high level of status and you do extremely successful, regardless of your morals and values, regardless of who you are as a person, people tend to overlook that a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people at the top are terrible people, and people overlook those things.
Yes.
And yet they idolize their behavior because it's simply, they have so much power, there's so much success, I want to be them. They've written a blueprint for me where people are now so superficial, that's what the standard is. When you take that superficialness away, go back 50 years, you have a different perspective.
Yeah.
You have a much different perspective. Sure, the people at the top, Elvis, Michael Jackson, Prince, like all these famous people, Pele, I mean, you can go international on that. Yeah, sure, there's still some at the top, but that middle section is now very, very different. And because the values are different.
Yeah.
Because you don't think fame is associated with greatness and goodness.
Especially not anymore. Before, fame was this thing reserved for a certain people that did something that required that fame. Now, you could be famous for nothing, basically.
Yeah.
So it's kind of devalue fame in a lot of ways. I mean, you could be famous and, just be, no issues of being broke. I mean, we're all broke, but I'm just saying, a lot of people are famous, but they have nothing to show for it. What are you gonna make that your role model? It's just very different now. And
But
again,
I think it's back to the same thing as dating. Not dating. What was the one? Yeah, it was dating, where people like beforehand were able to have different families over here and be able to maintain it because nobody knew. I think there's a lot of people who were famous back in the days who are not great models, but it was just easier to hide back in the days.
yes, I mean they would tell you. I mean, a lot of the people that were famous in the 80s, that was, we wouldn't survive in this.
No.
This everything being so open and everything being out in the public.
There's cameras everywhere,
Yeah.
and they can catch you and doing like in the 80s. What was that famous Studio 51 or whatever? There was it was drug, sex, and alcohol, and it was all the famous people. Drew Barrymore was at the club when she was 12, doing all of the above. That nowadays it wouldn't fly. That was
I mean. What's this guy's name? Aaliyah and
P. Diddy.
No.
She was with
R.
me.
Kelly.
Oh, R. Kelly. Yes.
They got married, and this happened. That would not fly. Everybody would have picked up on it so quick. This came up later on that she was underage the whole time.
I will also say a lot of those people that were famous beforehand always said they weren't good role models.
Yeah,
and I think that's a huge differentiating fact. People never admitted they were good. People never said, follow me.
Yeah.
And I think Michael Jordan was one of the famous ones that said, why would you ever want me as a role model?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like people back then at least had the morals and values to say, look, I'm not that person that you want to look at. If you want to look at me, great, but don't do my life.
Exactly.
And I think, and I could be wrong on this, Magic Johnson is another one of those people where Larry Bird was another one where a lot of people looked up to him, but he's like, what are you looking at me for? I'm this white guy from Indiana.
I just happened to play basketball.
I happen to play basketball.
Yep.
And the second the camera's not on me, you weren't going to see me.
Yeah. So I want to go back to the dating part. And you mentioned something that was very important.
Dating. I'm kidding.
So for you guys, like as we get older, does it change the way you date? Is it more like
Absolutely.
is it more with like an intention of what is this gonna lead to? If it's not, let's just move on to the next one.
Going to a whole entire rant about it. I'll go first.
I'm going to let you take over because I know that you're about to get into this.
It's just dating is completely different. Completely. Oh my God, in my 20s, it was so different than now. Where can I start? One of the things that I have learned in my 30s, in my grown age, that in my 20s, it was so easy for me to date. It was easy. Oh, I can have a boyfriend tomorrow. Actually, tonight. Actually, when I leave here. Why? That should be the question. Why?
No.
Because I didn't stand up for anything. I wanted somebody to love. I wanted somebody to love me. And the more naive, the more dumb I was, or whatever it is that you want to call it, the easier it was for me to get somebody, because I didn't stand for anything. Now that I'm much more grown, developed, I understand what I want, how I want to be treated by somebody. That gets me no dates, because people doesn't want somebody who actually, people talk about like, I want an independent woman, an independent man that has a mind. Bullshit. Everybody just wants somebody who's willing to go along what they do, and they just want somebody to ride their tail. Legit too as well.
Yeah.
and it's that. And now I feel like the more I go into dates, when I was dating, I will go into dates and I will be like, okay, now I know what I want. I know what I'm going to say. I know how I want to be treated. Ghosts. They will not call me back. They will not, because they don't want a strong-minded person.
You have a standard, so
there's a standard that you have to meet. No, you go ahead.
I think it's a mix. Obviously, dating nowadays is hard because people don't have morals and values, and the cheating and the personalities and what you're actually looking for is really challenging. It's always about compromise between two people. And I think that's where you have to find that blend that mixes. Who is willing to compromise first? And then is that second person willing to match the compromise?
People don't want to compromise.
No one wants to compromise. But a lot of the times it's who makes the first move. Mm-hmm. Right? Like that first move is more important than the second move. Obviously, the second move, if it never happens, it doesn't start. But you both have to be willing to take those steps and take everything and just kind of go for it. And nowadays, it's just like, no, I want it this way, as you were saying. But again, for a person that's dating nowadays, it's one of the worst times to ever date, because people aren't willing to compromise, people aren't willing to make sacrifices, and people aren't willing to really get into something. They just want it their way, and they want it this and that. And it's like, no, this is not how reality works. This is not how you get into a 50-year relationship.
Yeah.
You have to fall in love.
Do people
every 5 years.
Want a 50-year-old relationship anymore? Like
No.
Sometimes I feel like the new generation, that's not what they want.
It's because Instagram. That's the problem. Because even if you see videos that are well intended, they're motivational, they're like, you deserve the best, you need the best, you want. That's not reality, people. Relationships are about compromising.
Yeah.
They're about understanding. They're about understanding that you're not 100% sometimes. And if you want somebody to compromise with you, you have to compromise with somebody else. Nobody is perfect, but everybody is online over here. You deserve the best. And why? Why you deserve the best? Are you the best to somebody else? Are you willing to compromise in a relationship? Are you willing to do the right things? Are you a full developed human? Do you have a good job? No, you don't, but you think you deserve the best.
Yeah,
no, you're not getting that.
And I get this from my single friends, from straight women or gay men. They are. It's basically the same story. Say it.
No, I said, do you have those? Do you have gay friends?
Yeah. So it's weird that it's across the board. Everybody has the same consensus about it.
Everyone has the same consensus. Very few people take action. And that is the thing at the end of the day.
One thing about one thing I have realized with age is and some people hate when I say this, but
I hate it already.
I haven't even said it yet.
Oh, okay, my bad. Continue. Go ahead. Yeah.
I see older people that are like never met anybody, and I think that's very sad. And I'm not talking about like when they're like.
I got lost in your statement. Go ahead.
So like I have a neighbor, right? She's like in her 70s, no kid, no husband, no nothing. And the reason why I said it's sad is because at that age, I just mentioned that, once you get to the 30s and have kids, and like meeting new people and interacting with people gets hard. So imagine for a person at that age where even your friends group are starting to get sick, or like them meeting new people, interacting, it's so hard. Where like I people I know where like they'll be waiting for me to get home from work just to have that interaction with me, just from the door, because they have nothing, they have nobody else. And to me, one of the like being alone, it's very scary, and one of the worst things that like a human being could experience is just being completely alone. And I find that people that don't find that person, of course, when we're young, 30s, 40s, even 50s, you kind of, everything's fun still. You could, but once you cross that line where, like you said, things starts to get real hard physically. You need more help. You need somebody that's there with you, not because of what you could provide or what you could, it becomes more real. And you never found that person. I think it's very, very sad from what I've seen.
Yeah.
And I have people that say I'm wrong. What do you guys? What's your take? Are you guys afraid of that? Or
I'm halfway on what you're saying, and then you can go. I'm over here giving you terms. I'm halfway because I've been in both worlds. Some people are.
Well, just to be clear, you guys are very young. You guys are not in that age yet. You guys are not there
Do you
yet.
feel young?
Yes and no.
No, no. Everybody in this room is very young. Like in comparison,
In comparison, we're young.
Mid-30s. I don't know what.
that's young.
30s.
That is so young.
We're young.
So young. So young.
Say that to my hip.
The back.
I mean, listen, I literally did not go get you guys because my knees hurt. So like those stairs, I'm
Look
like,
at young people in pain. Young people in pain.
yeah.
We're all young, everybody.
Yeah.
Logo.
But we're still young. What do you guys think of are you guys afraid of that or no?
Do you want me to?
I get up to you.
Okay, so for
go
me,
first.
the way that I feel, because I've been in all of the above, I do not want the company of somebody just because I'm settling down and I'm getting old and X, Y, and Z, because sometimes there's nothing better than your own company. And that's
Okay.
something that I learned with time. Appreciating your space, your environment, being happy with you, and not needing somebody to fulfill you, because you never know what's going to happen. Maybe you are with somebody in your 50s and then your partner dies. This is what happens where a lot of old people, after their partner died, they will die a couple months, a couple years after because of the sadness, and they never had learned how to be alone. So I want to be able to appreciate my space, my environment, be happy on my own. With that being said, I also want somebody, well, the meat is still good. Because afterwards you have to sell it in discount. It has to be a discount because you're not.
Comes with extra pills on the side.
Later on, it's like shit. Like I don't want to be an old bride.
We live in the saddest generation where the most antidepressants exist.
I agree.
And everyone is lonely beyond belief, and I
Yeah.
think it's terrible on every level. I think it's empowering to embrace yourself on your own. I think the reality of the situation is people don't want that regardless. It's being with someone can make you substantially better, and when you're with the right person, as you know,
When you're
Yes.
with the right
it
person.
is a very different concept, and your life drastically becomes better. Is there more headaches sometimes? Yes. Is there very difficult issues that arise? Yes. But I think the having someone that compliments you, regardless of the arguments or where fights that you go through, and each person does it differently. I know for me, I never yell. Someone else may yell, but that could be for them a therapeutic and how they get through things. I won't judge. If you're together for 50 years, guess what? Someone who's together for 5 years, 15 times is going to argue against you. What is the point?
Yeah.
You're happy. You do what you do, as long as there's nothing like terrible about it.
Yeah.
Here's how I see it.
Take it
Like
over.
when you are young in your date, you're not willing, but you make more mistakes due to the fact that you are more willing to compromise, to leave your values behind, do X, Y, and Z. But I think when you do date and you meet somebody in your 30s and your 40s and you click, I think that's a lifetime, because you have truly have come into your own. And now you have come into your own, but you meet somebody who's also fully developing themselves, and now you're just walking together. And for me, that's what I'm looking for right now. I feel like before, when I was young, I was even following somebody else's direction, or even somebody was following my direction, I'm like, what I want right now is like, I'm going this way. I just happen to run into somebody who was going the same way. He's
Yeah.
not compromising with me. He's not, because compromise is great, but it all breaks eventually.
Well, I think that there's always going to be a level of compromise.
For sure.
Yeah, like if you're dealing with two people, two individuals, there's always going to be a level of compromise. But I like what he said, because a lot of people think it's like, oh, the only way to do this is, or you grow together and you learn together, and it could be the opposite. It could be like you said. It could be
why can't
we
you be
already grown
instead?
together, and now
That makes it harder. That makes dating much harder.
Well, what I was gonna say is you can't, because you said, and this is dangerous. You said you like your alone time and being by yourself,
Yes.
and you could get used to that.
Yes.
Become too rigid to when you meet somebody. So you have to keep an eye on that. You know, 'cause-
Absolutely. And
yeah.
I'm currently right now, even with my saying if I'm dating or not type of deal, I don't want that to come around the across the wrong way. But for me, it's just like it have taken me so long to be here and to understand who I am, that now when I am introducing somebody to my friends and family and stuff like I want it to be real.
Yeah.
I want myself to be more sure, because if you introduce somebody too soon, then your mind can be blurred with other people's opinion.
Yeah.
Because you're still getting to know them. So you don't know. So somebody can be like, oh, I think he's rude. And you're like, is he? I don't know. But there's nothing more beautiful when you actually get to know somebody. You actually know them. And you can explain them to somebody else and be like, no, he's just this way. So for me, I want to be sure. I want to be sure first before I introduce a partner to anybody else. Because I'm no longer looking for somebody to fill the space. I want a partner, and that's very different. A space you can fill with anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody that come across, you're like, oh, come this way. Why
Yeah.
not?
I agree. Yes on the space and yes on the people, right? You can find anyone in that. I think the other thing is, are you having the right people around you if they're questioning that much? And if they're putting you in those situations where it's not helping, instead they're interrogating. Because if you're interrogating someone on who is this person, what are they good for, what are they doing, that's a negative. Because now they're not helping the relationship, they're trying to tear it down.
Yeah, nitpicking everything. Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying. Unfortunately, we Dominican people don't know that.
Look,
You meet somebody and
Yeah,
everybody's opinion.
fast. Yeah,
Everybody.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
over here to talk, judge, and it's just part of it.
that could be true, but the question is, can you find other
It's not
Dominican?
good, it is.
Can you find more other Dominican people that judge less? 50% less,
No.
75% less, 90%.
You can. You
Not
can
your
find the ones that
family.
don't care.
You don't pick your family. You don't pick it. They come that way.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing: if it's your family and they're that harsh and they're judging, delay it, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't deserve to know them in that moment, because you understand what's going on.
Correct.
Which now puts the blame on you because you're now introducing them too soon. So you're setting yourself up for
Correct.
failure.
That's the point. Not introducing them too soon, allowed to have your time, and then you're later on not even able to explain your partner to them. Because some people are very opinionative. If you are easy to persuade, then that's when you should keep things to yourself. Because I don't think that, even though that I care about my friend's opinion and my family's opinion, my opinion comes first.
That's a good point.
Because I'm the one who's coexisting with them. I'm the one who's supposed to get to know them. But some people like to have other people's, I won't say opinion, approval of their.
Yes.
Yeah, but then
That's
you
a mistake.
You shut them out.
Correct.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: you got to shut them out. That's on you. Because even if it's your family, even if it's your friends, the reality is, if your friends are judging you that hard, they're not friends.
No, it's like the friends were like,
They're an anchor.
yeah, like the friends were like, you get a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and then all of a sudden they're mad. They're like, oh, you're spending too much time with him. You're not spending too much time with me, and they start using this to kind of make you feel guilty when they should be like, it is what it is. It's part of growing up. You found your person. That's normal. To me,
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't know if I agree with that. Because I feel like a lot of people for what I had left. They find a partner and stuff like that, and somehow they ghost everybody. But then when that relationship ends or anything like that, they want to come back into your life, and you're like, oh, I thought you were so good.
Well, there's a balance. There's a balance to it, because if you just completely shutting everybody out and not coming, it's like, what are you hiding now? Like, what's going on? That's also, there's a balance to it. But it's interesting. Like I said, I'm glad I am not in the dating market. It seems
you do learn something. I'm not encouraging you or anything.
Your friend will kill you. So
You learn. Because for me, like, once again, I was in a relationship for 9 years. All of my 20s, I broke up in my 30s, and it's the best thing that could have happened to me. It was painful and all of that stuff, and I needed to start from new. But I would not even know what person I would have been today if that didn't happen. That forced me into being myself, who I am as a person, who is Jeffrey. Because for so long, it was because you do compromise, and because you don't fully do everything that you want to do, even if it's a mistake. Sometimes it takes a mistake for you to do some things, and that give and pull have shaped me into the person that I am today, that is so much more stronger, that is so much more developed, that Jeffrey in that relationship would not even recognize who I am today.
That's interesting. So, like, do you think throughout those 8 years, now looking back at those 8 years, do you know, oh, this was never gonna work?
No, I wouldn't. No, and let me explain why. I think the reason why I didn't see it that way is because as long, when you're in a relationship and you know that as long as you do what needs to do, the relationship will always be there, even if it is you compromising. So for you, it's like, as long as I compromise, this relationship will be good. So you never see the end, because you always see yourself compromising.
Yeah.
So you're like, this is my normal.
Yeah.
Yes, I will compromise because this is what you do. So I don't see anything until you get to that breaking point. And you're like, I can't compromise anymore. And that's when you're like, oh, okay, I see the end now, because I can't give anymore. But at the beginning, I think we do see a lot of, I know every single relationship that I've had that we break up or whatever, you see those red flags from the beginning. You see them. Every single issue, you see them. But you pull your, what is it called? Your
blinders on,
And you're like, oh no, you romanticize that until later on when you can't anymore. And you're like, this shit was always there from the beginning.
See, I do like the number system. Everything in my life is about numbers.
Okay.
In a certain way. So
break it down.
So if I don't like something, I'll tell you I don't like something. And I give myself a number for everything. I'm gonna tell you this certain amount of times. After that, then I'm looking at me. It's like, all right, I'm the problem, because I keep saying this, and I expect that person to change, and I'm not changing. I'm not doing anything. So then that's why I look at everything through those ways. It was like, all right, I don't like this. Why do I keep putting myself in this situation? How many times am I going to do this before I start looking at me? So I give myself a number. So for me, it's usually 5. I know some people are like, oh, 3 times. I think that's not being flexible enough with somebody. To me, it's like, if you tell somebody 5 times, hey, this hurts me, I don't like this, and you explain it to a level, and then to me, the number could be for anybody different. That's fine, up to you. But for me, the level is 5. After 5 is I start switching. It's all right, I already explained it to them. Obviously, either they don't care, either they can't, for whatever reason, change it. That's fine. That's on them. But now that I know that he can't change it, he's not willing to, now what I am going to do about this. So I don't spend 8 years I use it. I'm sorry. Did I go?
I was like, hold on. He's talking to me. I was like, wait a minute. Have you seen that little kid?
8 years.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
But
attacked.
I'm sorry, but yeah, that's I understand what you mean. Sometimes you just keep giving the person the same chance, and you have to at some point draw a line of all right, that's not working. Time to switch it up. Yeah. Then I understand it's definitely difficult when some people are master manipulators. They know how to like,
That's what
you
I
know.
know all of my life. Master manipulators.
Oh,
I'm telling you, it's
so switching the subject.
Okay.
Leaving the dating.
okay.
Uh,
We'll be there 5 years.
before
Keep going on.
Oh, no.
the podcast. So like, you guys have like any like long-term plans or like a goal, or like do you guys plan on having interviews, or are you guys gonna keep it like that, like just you two for now, or have you guys interview anybody? I don't know. At least from what I've seen, no, so far.
No,
You don't want to hear what I want to say.
So right now there's no interviews. We haven't done it. We're just building it out. I think at a certain point we definitely want to get obviously the design of the studio. We've talked about that. This is, who knows when this is going to happen. Like high end, really contrast, creating this beautiful set and just elevating to the next level. Obviously, but at some point have people on, but have the right people on.
Yes.
We want people on that it's just not just friends, not family that are asking, or not random people. It's like, we want something that goes in the right direction.
Yes.
Whether you have 1 follower, 1 million followers, varying on where we are and where we've established, I think it's great in that sense. But you also want the right people.
100%. I think. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was. My answer was gonna be happy wife, happy house. my dad is trying to keep Gordon happy.
Hey, look, there's compromises of we got to work together, build things up.
Yeah, I think I made, I've been doing it for 3 years now, basically, and I've gone through like different stages of it. I went through the stage of anybody that asked, anybody that was willing to, I brought them on. And when I say this, please, anybody that's been on the podcast, don't take it the wrong way, or don't take it the wrong way. Everybody's been great. Everybody's taught me something. Everybody that's been on has been amazing. But I also, there's a level of protecting and being true to why you started the podcast. So like, I have people on that I necessarily did not have anything that I was interested of why they were here. It was just like, oh, you want to come on? Come on. And I wasn't interested in what they were doing, right? And that's not their fault. It's nothing to do with them. But if you want to continue this, doing interviews or doing a podcast, you got to kind of like it. And if the minute you stop liking it, that's when you get in trouble. So one of the reasons why I stepped back from doing a lot of the interviews is, some people think it was like, oh, you run out of guests. It wasn't that. It was just, I was like, I want to be a little bit more selective on who I'm bringing on and why I'm having them here. Not anything against anybody. It was more on keeping true to the nature of my podcast, which is, being curious about a lot of different things. And if I'm not interested, 1 is going to show on camera, 2 is going to be boring for me, and it's going to feel like work. I don't want to do it. And it took time for me to realize that it's great now. For me, for you guys, it's great. You guys are 2. Sadly, with me, if I don't have an interview, the show doesn't go on, and I had to come in terms with that's okay. So what I did was strategize, and what I'm gonna be doing the podcast about is what I'm interested on. So like you guys, one of the reasons why is not just because Jeffrey's a friend, is I was interested of the perspective of 2 guys. What you guys talk about on your podcast, I thought it was very interesting. There's nuance there that I thought people could take from 2 gay guys talking about
wait, straight. Straight.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute.
Mistake on my part. See, this is how you make a mistake. No, I'm sorry. I knew he wasn't gay. I was just saying. You know how I knew? Because Kelly told me. I was just gonna say what he was gonna do.
I was like, hold on.
And the reason why I said that is because do you get that a lot? Do people think, you guys are both gay, or do you care?
No, usually people think we're both straight.
Oh, but yeah, no, I just brought that out to see what you're gonna say.
Because I have a whole topic that I want after you roll that.
Yeah.
What, people thinking that?
Yeah.
No one thinks that.
No,
I've never heard anyone that says that on any level. And maybe maybe you've heard differently. As far as I know, everyone knows he's gay. Everyone knows I'm straight.
well,
And like
yeah, go ahead.
you can tell by the way we dress, sometimes the presentation. Well, look, it's the honest answer.
Well,
Look, I mean, there's the difference of it, and then obviously you have the wordplay on top of it of straightforward.
Yes.
And it's a lot of those combinations people kind of put the math together. It just adds up.
Yes, once you get to know you guys, you kind of but again, I think it's brave that you guys are showing that you guys could work together. There's no issues. A gay guy, a straight guy could have a show and interact with each other with no issues or any malice. Is completely normal. I have
a question to that too, so go ahead.
No, I was
okay. No, I was gonna say, like, that statement. If somebody will perceive or think, is that, or both of you?
Yeah.
Would you think that would be an offensive to you?
No, I don't think so.
I could honestly care less.
And how long have you guys felt that way? Because I feel like a lot of times we have grown as a society, we have changed. But once again, like, I've been here for a minute.
Yeah.
And I know that times have changed. So for me, I always wonder with my straight friends to ask them, like, when did that change for you? Because I feel like a lot of people say, like, oh, I always felt that way. But I don't think that's true. I think everybody had a certain time that they had an opinion that nowadays maybe they are shame off and they're willing to say, like, oh, no, I never felt that way.
Yeah. See, like, I could honestly say, and Jeffrey knows me, there was a time, as a kid where I was like, a little apprehensive just because I didn't understand.
Correct.
And also I had to learn, I went through a few experiences where I have friends where, they were straight their whole life. They grew up with me, they've been with girls, the whole growing up experience as a straight male, and all of a sudden they, came out as gay. And
they were never straight. I think what we call that is they were in the closet. But
yeah. Well, that's also a good topic. Do you change, or are you born? That's a good,
Yeah.
But I myself went through it and I realized I'm like nothing's changed, nothing's different. It's all the same. With my friend, the only thing I was upset about was that I found out through somebody else, and we had the conversation. It was like, did I not give you the trust that you could tell me, like, what what was that about? We had to have that conversation, but after that, it was
because I feel like times have changed, but sometimes I wonder, like, if people are able and capable of analyzing, like, yeah, I did think this way, and now it have changed. Like, for example, like, I didn't want to put him in the spot, but for example, like, I know him longer than I know his wife.
Yeah.
Like, we went to, what was it, 7th grade?
Dude, I've known you since I was 10.
So, like, 7.
I was 10 years old.
But we never had a friendship.
Yeah.
So to me, I think at that time it did play a role, especially when you're in high school. Well, like that. You are much more like, it was a different time.
Yeah.
Percent.
Well, and with me and him specifically, it was, at least on my perspective, my side of it was more like I didn't know if he was straight or if he was gay at that time. So I was just like, I was trying to figure it out. Once you came out, I was like, oh yeah, completely normal. Yeah. But before then, I was like, I don't know how to deal with, like, I just don't know.
It was different once again when you were a kid, and it's a
Dominican person. Yeah.
It's a completely different world. So to me, I always wonder how it is from somebody else, what it's to know somebody for so long, but also never had any kind of friendship or anything like that. And to me, I'm like, obviously, I was gay, so I am. So that must have played a role, but I think how after times have changed, I always wonder what was the turning point. Is it a society allows you, or is it something yourself that you come to terms with?
I think probably society has a lot to do with it, but also in yourself. Like some people are just hateful people, and nothing's gonna change that. Nothing you could do about that. The reason why I asked was because I went through this with my friend. Even my own sister had this question. My friend, came out as, and I'm talking about like my friend slept at my house, was around with me the whole time. My sister was like, "Wait, so are you gay?" So that's why I made that little joke, because I wanted to see, because all of a sudden my friend became gay. All of a sudden people were asking me or started questioning me. It's like, and I was like, no, I had no idea. I felt bad, like I said, that my friend, a person that I grew up with, didn't feel comfortable telling me. And that's where I was like, searching within myself, like if I did something wrong that I made him feel like he couldn't do it. Then it turns out that like everything in life is not about you. It was like, it had nothing to do with you. I was confused this whole time. I didn't know. So how was I going to tell you anything, And then, the way everything came out with him, it wasn't his choice that everybody went public, So so that's why I kind of, because some people might have an issue with that.
I could care less.
That's great.
I think there's a certain point, yes and no. I think really where my line draws is someone starts to hit on me, then it's like, nah, get the heck out of the way. Like, I'm out.
Yeah.
If you ask, I could care less. And I think that's happened probably for years. I'm 34 at this point, at least 10 years. I could care less. I don't. If you're asking me, great, whatever. Doesn't bother me whatsoever. It's just when the hitting on or flirting, and I'm like, look, man.
And that's universal. Like once it becomes like even from a girl, like if a girl's flirting me and I'm like, hey, thank you, but no thanks, and you keep going, it's gonna be it's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna be to a point where it's like, all right, you need to stop. So that's understandable.
Stop.
Well, you respect her.
Yeah,
this is disrespectful. Like,
exactly.
Why are you gonna keep doing?
Exactly. Another thing for straight people out there that might go through is like again, everything's not about you. So another thing where my friend was like, he came out as gay, and then I was like, oh, that's strange. I seen you your whole life. Like I thought, like how can that? There was no way I would have ever thought this from this person. This guy is like macho, like complete opposite from what you would think, and he still acts the same way. Like he's still like a very macho guy, like
it's just a stereotype.
Yeah, and then it was like, people's like, oh, are you worried that he was gonna hit on you? I'm like, guys, like what makes you think you look good enough, or like that he's gonna?
That's what I say to it.
It's like, how like cocky are you that you automatically assume
99% of straight men that I'm like, oh, you will hit on.
Like why?
I'm gay. I still have standards. Calm down.
So like I said, it's beautiful that you guys are able to do the podcast and there's no issues. I thought that was awesome because as long as things have changed, there's still people that would be worried about getting judged or looked at. It was like, oh, because I'm with this person, they might think I'm this and that, and it's, as you guys can see, that's not the case.
And I think it's something that needs to be normalized.
Yes.
Who gives a crap?
Exactly.
Who cares?
Exactly.
Like we judge each other so much where that becomes more important than not caring and just enjoying your life and living in the moment. It's like, look, you have one life.
Yes.
If you want to be ambitious, go for it. If you don't want to be ambitious, don't drag other people down. But enjoy it.
Yes, exactly.
And if anybody has to be offended, I think it has to be me. That people won't think that people won't think I'll have better taste. I'm like,
look at this face. It's terrible. It's hideous.
I had to be offended. I'm like, really, you guys? Continue,
I think, that's what I said earlier. I think people miss out on a lot of things. I think the more different people around you is the best thing. Like, I always have this story. me and my wife Kelly went to eat, and we're a group of people, and there was some older people. There was this gay couple sitting on a. Right next to us, it was a hibachi. You know, when you go to a hibachi grill, you get, you get a bunch of people sitting next to you, and they were clearly gay. Some of the people in the table
What, one
felt
of them had a skirt? What is happening?
that was not needed. The skirt was not needed.
The skirt was needed.
And
Continue.
I started making conversation with them, and one of the best conversations I've ever had. They beautiful couple. They've traveled. They have so much stories. They were telling us about a bunch of things. We sat there and drank and ate a few hours, and after, I left the table, and some of the people that were in my group, they were like, you just made that. It was awkward in the table, and by me starting the conversation and just having them talk and everybody listening, it killed all of that right away, because I felt it. I felt some people were uncomfortable, and I was just like, no, this is not happening here. And I started the conversation, and like, oh, you were comfortable just having them. Like, what's wrong? Like, why were you afraid? Like, what's the issue? Like, in my mind, I'm like, and what I thought was like, you think you look good enough that they're gonna hit on you? Like, what do you think is gonna happen?
Always never the cute guys. I'm telling you, they always look like Shrek. The people that say that always look like Shrek. So mad. I'm like, really?
Oh man.
Sorry, continue.
But back to the question of the podcast. You guys have been doing it for how long now?
We're on episode 15, so it's been 16 weeks at this point, so 4 months.
Wow, so you guys have been 15 episodes in that short of time. That's pretty good.
Because I just, at the beginning, we were posting every other week.
So for the first we skipped
month.
1 week.
But the first month we did one.
We skipped 1 week.
Okay.
So that's the key to like consistency when it comes to like, especially like YouTube, a platform like YouTube. They reward consistency. So that's why, like, with the guys, we dropped 2 episodes every week. Whether it's good or bad, like, we drop it anyway, just because we just want to feed the beast. Mm-hmm. That's how we call it.
The beast.
Yeah, because it's you have to be consistent all the time. And again, about interviews, I think you guys have the right mentality, and like, pick the right ones. Pick things that you guys are interested in, because again, if you start doing it just to have people on or just it's gonna kill the actual love that you guys have for the actual podcast. How did you guys? What made you guys start a podcast? Did you guys have this in the back of the mind, or
to go? Wow.
Well, it was your idea.
I forced him to.
It's not wrong. Not wrong on that.
How did it start? So I always wanted a podcast. Like,
Okay.
I love like interviewing. I love talking about people. I like good conversations, and I always had that in the back of my head. I even talked to Kelly about it.
yes, she mentioned it a few times. I always tell them like, oh yeah, because I told them like, all right, the studio's your studio as well. Like, go ahead.
So, and I've always been a super creative person in the sense of like how I want something to look, but I'm more creative in a visual wise when it comes about how things are supposed to look and sound and stuff like that. Not so much, I guess, the behind the scene things. So I think that was the part that I was lacking always. And then this gentleman over here started working in the same place that I did. And I remember what part, but I don't know if somebody at work showed me like your motivational videos.
Could have been.
Yeah, and so he was making motivational videos. He was always making those videos. And then I think I started talking about how I always wanted a podcast. And then you said that you had one, or that you wanted to start one, that you've been on multiple ones.
So I've been on multiple ones. I did start one at one point, and I was in the process of starting another one for the motivational life coaching, which at some point further down the line I'll do, but it's just too many things going on. And I think just the merge of the two of like, you have two different polar opposite views. You have topics, you have interesting things, and then just.
So for me, the way that it started was like I started pitching to him, like literally everything. It was like the logo, the name, what it was gonna be, what was gonna sound like, what was gonna be, and it was like continuously having those conversations with him, because that's what I'm good at. That's my biggest thing. But I think the execution of it all, that's where he takes over, and that's when he does the best on, which actually going backwards a little bit or forward more. When we were talking about relationships and making sure when you adapt and you change and you grow, sometimes things that worked before don't work later on. And that's when you grow and you adapt and you change. Why do I say that? Because some of the, I say, issues that we have had is maybe I was caught up in my head of what I was good at and what I brought to the table and what he brought to the table. And maybe in a sense, I left more on your plate in a sense for more things to do, and the understanding in my end of like, oh, that's which is what he likes to do. This is why X, Y, and Z. And even if somebody likes to do something, let's say like your wife, and she loves to cook, and that is her thing. Like maybe once in a while you can offer and you can do those things, and not necessarily you to just don't help just because of like, oh, she just likes to do that. She's just the cooker.
Yeah.
She's just the cleaner. And I think those have been sometimes a little bit of my mistakes is and the things that I can possibly do that I perceive as being the things that he was good at.
Yeah, I think it was a development of everything that kind of came together and things that were executed and kind of built out. I mean, yeah, there's been rough issues. There's been things that have been worked out. And you know what? That's the past of the past. And obviously that's not something to dwell on. Things are going to happen in life and situations are going to happen. And we're going forward. That's kind of how I see it at the end of the day. I mean, running businesses and companies, and I have a different perspective, right? Like behind the scenes is something I've done quite a bit, and I'm probably pushed too much, which I do know. As you said, consistency, that's a huge thing. And it's like, you know what? We have something that's so successful. And if you look at the analytics, and I'm very big in that, it's just something that's growing at a pace that probably shouldn't. I mean, we shouldn't have 4,000 views on a reel.
Yeah.
Right? Like the podcasts, yeah, they're not as taking off as much. Whatever, right? Like that's one metric.
That's the process. Yeah, that's just a process.
You're gonna have highs and lows, but the rate that we're growing is kind of astonishing, and you don't see that very often. You just don't, and it's kind of crazy that it came out of nowhere. And to be honest, even now, like even beforehand, some of the reels that we've done, it's just shocking to do those numbers and shocking to see the growth move at such a rapid rate. And yeah, I probably shouldn't look as much as I should. But it is what it is. Like, I'll admit that. But where we've gone, and even within the, I think probably 7th or 8th video that we dropped, the growth rate that we were doing does not make sense. And I'm not going to say in a bad sense, but like if you look at other podcasts, if you look at other channels, if you look at the growth rate that they have, even though maybe we don't necessarily have the followers behind us or the likes that are there, the views alone,
you see it. Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, one step after another. It's like, it's there. It's just the question is like, how much do you push compared to how much do you want to? Like, obviously that's the balance. But like the numbers is just doesn't make sense. And look, from a business acumen, you usually fail 3 or 4 businesses before one becomes successful.
Yes.
And for 3 or 4 businesses is 15 years.
Yes.
Right? Like that's what it is. So it's like when I saw something that's like successful, it's like, this doesn't make any sense, but like, I don't give a damn. Like sometimes it's the things that don't make sense, like the reels that go famous or popular. Like it's my
it happens to me all the time. I'm like, all right, this one's gonna go. And then nothing. And then the one that I'm like, I'm just gonna put it out because I don't know. And then you put it out, and then that's the one that goes and does the most numbers. So it's weird.
You never know.
With your families, how, like I already told you guys about my wife and pretty much my mom, my sister. Everybody's been behind me. My friends, not all of them. My friends have been behind me and supporting this. Nobody looked at me as weird when I was 30-something with 2 kids and said, I'm gonna try to do a podcast. How has been the support, from the people closest to you guys, both?
Yeah, I will say my parents are my biggest supporters on every level. They've done a lot. They've helped out a lot. They've contributed a lot from various things. Some friends have been really good. Some friends haven't. And I had different expectations because I knew what to expect.
Yeah.
My company before this, the people that have helped me the most are people I just met day number 1 or day number 10 or day number 100. It's not the people that were close to me necessarily. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people of those have been huge, but there's a reason. My circle is very different than most people because when you have so many failures and you understand reality, I hate to say it, I do categorize people. Maybe not the ones really close to me because I know they're there. But again, I'm an analytic person and I've been through a lot in the sense of the businesses and losing friends and all of that. There's a certain point where I'm probably a little too cutthroat and it bites me in the ass 15% of the time and it saves my ass 85% of the time. And that's not a good ratio, right? But at the same time, it's also a great ratio.
I think when it comes to a business, and I say sadly because you wish you wouldn't have to be that way, but when you run a company, it's kind of the way you have to be if you want the company to run. It's part of it. I tried it. I have experiences running a business, and I tried it every way possible, and I ended up on cutthroat. It's the best. It's the best way. At the end of the day, it saves a lot of time and saves
a lot of money.
Yes, saves a lot of money. One, and people think it saves a lot of feelings hurt because you do it quick. You don't let it fester. Like I said.
Okay, my turn now. 85% of people are fake.
Yeah,
fake, and I mean that with the bottom of my soul. When you are doing something from the bottom and you're building it, very few people are going to show there, and they're going to be there. Now, when you actually become something, now everybody wants to be your friend.
Yes.
Now everybody, but when you are in the grimes of it, like I had a whole, but this is why it's so important to have categories for your friends. Now I have my close friends, I have my friends, and I have my acquaintance.
Yep.
There are people, so at the beginning when we first got the batch of the first, 3 episodes, I sent it to a lot of people and stuff like that, tell me what they think, blah, blah, blah. Then we posted it, and then I'm like, oh, share, whatever.
No
crickets.
Yeah.
And the most stupidest excuse that I've heard be like, oh, I don't really watch podcasts. Oh,
I don't watch YouTube.
I don't watch
it. Seriously?
like even if, let's say, hypothetically speaking, you didn't.
Yeah.
But for a friend, you're like, oh my God. I have friends that are like, oh, I watched your thing. I'm not asking a lot.
Yeah.
And not something that you do for random Susan in the corner that you do not know. You watch your shit, you like it, blah, blah, blah. But over here, but it's okay because I see you.
Yeah.
I see you. I know who you are. And then everybody's in the category.
Yeah. One thing I've learned, because I've gone through all those emotions, especially with in the very beginning where I told countless people my idea. They said, oh yeah, once you get the space, we'll be right there. I heard that so many times, and it didn't happen, and I was mad at first. I went through those emotions where I was angry, and then I let it go, and I understood that sadly a lot of people are not going to believe something that has not materialized yet. Mm-hmm. That's just the fact of doing anything, basically. Mm-hmm. People, believe. I don't believe it till I see it. It's old saying, and it's very true. And my advice to both of you guys would be to not take it personal, because it's just now.
I'm already.
It'll go away. It'll come down.
No, I can hold the grudge. It will stay in my mind and be there, because what I understand is when somebody is willing to do something, as small as it is, that's the thing with me. When you do something for me, and I know that you had nothing to gain out of this, and I will remember that till the day that I die. to me, that will stay in my head because you did something for me before there was no benefit for you. So if later on this blows up and stuff like that, and you want to be on my side, I don't give a damn. I do not give two single fucks.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
Because now there's a benefit for you.
Yeah.
So, for example, for me, like when I was sick and stuff like that, and for Kelly, and she had his wife, she had my card at that time, that I will never forget that. I will never, that will never leave my head, the understanding of how it was to get help when I was, there was no benefit of helping me. There's so many times that I have had friends and things in my life, even if it was because I throw parties, I did this, I was a good friend and stuff like that. And that was the only time in my life that I couldn't offer anything to anybody. I couldn't offer anything. And the people that were there and throw me a bone or whatever it is that you want to call it, that will never leave my mind.
Yeah, I mean, like nothing shows you who who are your true friends, and when it really counts. That's true, 80 years ago, and it's still true today. Sadly, but I think he looks at it more like business. I think he understands a little bit of that sense of like, this is just business. Things happen.
I'll counter that a little bit. The answer is I'm a businessman, but not 100%. And the philosophy of a small detail makes a huge difference is more powerful than a businessman. I'm good at business. I'm not going to say by any means I'm the best. That's not the case. I've had amazing opportunities in my life because I've worked my ass off. But the reality is those small details make a huge difference. And I'm a person that doesn't forget those things because they really make a huge difference. And I can go on multiple things where there's been situations. Those things make a big difference. I think at the end of the day, though, it's like you got to mix the two together to venture, right? If you're putting money into it, if you're going to grow, you don't grow exponentially at a high rate if you're just, and I know you love doing this.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
If you're doing it for another purpose with the fun involved,
yes,
you got to put it in.
Yes.
Because otherwise it's not going to grow. And if you have any momentum whatsoever, you got to put your foot on the throttle. And I think there was a race track. There was this video of this guy in a race car, and he's like, either I'm going to see God or the checkered flag. And he guns it, and he literally rides the sides.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yep.
And that is one of the most empowering videos because people don't really know what that means. They think they know what it means.
Yeah.
But what it means is when you have the ability and you have the green light and there's an opportunity, you're willing to give everything you have for it, and it doesn't matter what's in front of you. And that's the only way you're ever successful in life. Yeah, sure, someone could elevate you up, and maybe you're lucky on that sense. But if you're going to make it, you
got to take chances.
Gotta take chances.
Yeah.
Like, I've been broke. I've been God knows what, and I will still push it to the max.
I'm still broke.
Hey, look, I mean, I've been broke. Last year I was $52,000 in debt trying to pursue my dreams of opening an edibles company. And I gave it everything I had. I lost a relationship. I was depressed for God knows how long, other things that came from it. You want to be successful? People don't know what success means. They
think it's easy. No. Yeah.
They think it's easy, but I'm an asshole sometimes, yes.
But,
no, yeah, I'll say it. And people will say it that know me. And the reason I'm an asshole is because when you hit something that can work, if you let off your foot for a day, it could be gone. And there's opportunities. Sometimes it's 10 minutes. It's gone.
Yeah, and you have to understand a lot of, like, let's say you're a business owner. You have the vision, but some of the people that work for you might be there just for the check. They might not have the vision that you have. So you kind of have to, push them so your vision, gets to see reality. And it's like I said, it's tough because a lot of people are not going to understand that part.
Yeah. I don't think Gordon is an asshole in any way, shape, or form. But
I have my moments. I'm not gonna deny
No,
that.
I think what it is, and you guys can tell me if this is like a straight thing, which probably it is. Which what happens is sometimes I can overtalk about like small details in little things and talk about it so much that sometimes I feel that a lot of my friends in the straight community, you guys hold more things too hard, and not too hard. You don't talk about the little things. But then when little things add up,
Blow
the
up.
other person is clueless of it completely. But you have been holding little pebbles that went to the point that you say something, everything explodes, and the other person is completely off guard. And you're like, wait, how we got here?
I just spilled the juice. What this all came from?
So
I understand.
think to me, it's like what do you guys recommend for somebody dealing with you guys and how to approach that? Like, is it just to hear you guys out? Is it to just be able to take it when everything comes out? Or which?
So I'm going to cut you off there. It's not just a straight thing.
Okay.
I think that's the false pretense on all of it. It could be certain people could be more talkative, and you could say straight, gay, lesbian, women, all this stuff. Women tend to be more talkative than men, right? That's pretty factual. I'll even say, and people could ridicule me, I think gay guys talk more than straight men, and especially about your
There
feelings
was just
and
an
appearance.
example over here.
Yeah.
I think it's a two-way street, though, right? I think to a certain degree, both people are responsible. The person that builds up more the intent is definitely more at fault. But the question is what is the other person doing? And that has to have some weight to it. And I think that's where it's like, yeah, the person that exploded or whatever, that they're wrong, 100%, right? Like that's the situation. But there's always two people to blame for a situation. There's never one.
Yeah.
And I think that's the end of this discussion. The other thing is with straight guys, like we live in a society, maybe a little bit more now, no one ever talked about anything. And,
Yeah.
And there's a certain level of, okay, what is respectful, what is not. And, and again, different cultures, different,
Yes.
if you're straight or gay, there's different values. I don't want to say values, but
Levels for it, yeah.
levels to it. And I think there's that difference. But again, it's such a, it's a challenge because again, straight guys for so long, it's you, and even today the message is the same with a lot of people. Like, and God, this is gonna be controversial. I agree nowadays more with the people that say hold your emotions in than the other way, because people are way too expressive. And excuse my language, they're pussies nowadays, most men.
Yeah.
They can't fight. They can't do anything. And look, I'm not a great fighter. If I had
We
a
say
fight,
vagina nowadays.
yeah, no, you're a pussy. It's like I'm gonna be very blunt on that. It's because here's the thing: we demasculated men.
Yeah.
And another reason why a lot of women don't want men is because, well, shit. I have friends that can talk about our feelings and emotions to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Okay.
To a certain degree, I think it's good to get them out. But the reality is, it's like it's easier today to be successful than it has ever been.
Yes.
Because you can steamroll people.
Dana White said that.
Dana White, he's completely honest.
Yeah.
And look, it's so easy nowadays to be successful because you're competing against yourself.
Yeah.
And all you're competing against is the discipline, and maybe there's 5 people in front of you. You go back 10 years, there's 50 to 100.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's not even close. And nowadays, even those 5 people are not going to be as aggressive, so knock 2 of them off. So now your 3 people came to 50 to 100. Business is not the same because now it's all about social media and marketing, and that's your biggest obstacle. It's not the competition.
Yeah.
It's simply, can you get enough people in, keep them entertained, and keep them coming back on repeat business? But I think guys are way too soft. And I think there should be more physicality in life. I think people should get in fights more. And this is going to sound terrible, but I think the reality is when you can beat your friends up and be friends at the end of the day. And look, we wrestled, we roughhoused. And I'm not going to say we kicked each other's ass, but the most successful relationships are the ones where you kick someone's ass and you kicked your friend's ass and you put them in place when needed. Well, and especially with more.
Are we speaking verbally or are we speaking like physically?
Both. Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, look, I have a very I work for this company, transportation company, all Russian guys. When we say about culture, right? Their culture is very different. They're very straightforward. They're very
Or not.
not exactly. So in that environment, I learned one thing, even all the way up to the boss. Like I remember, I don't know if you guys ever been in a like how a transportation company works, especially when there's like 300 plus vans. It's chaos. So like you get in there in the morning, you got 300 vans that need to start. One might have a flat tire, or it's just not starting at all, or this driver didn't show up. You get into the office, it's chaos. So there is no room for being sensitive. Because it's just everything's go, 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 go. So my boss doesn't have the time to be like, can you please kind of, it's like, hey, this is good on, go do it. I go do this. Hey, you sent me to go do this. What the fuck? You fucking wasting my time. That's my boss. But you just fucking wasting my time. And I just keep going. There's no room for be like, you don't fucking speak to me like that. I was just like, all right, at the end of the day, everything got done. We got everything got cool. All right. That's left. There's no grudges. There's nobody feeling angry or holding. If there is something that somebody feels went overboard, let's have the conversation right there and then, or tomorrow. Let's not harbor it and keep it inside. Like you said, avoid that blowout where like, I believe like you said, for a lot of men, being in that room and in that office might have been very intimidating or very, too much testosterone or too much male whatever, because we're just trying to get a task done and we're not worried about nobody's feeling at that moment. And I learned that because I was just like, this is awesome. We could all express ourselves however we want to. Nobody's like, worrying about, oh, did I make this person feel bad? And if we did, we address it after. No hard feelings. Everybody just moves on from it. And that, I don't think a lot of people could handle that type, like you said, pussies. it's true. Like we have people in the office that they would be like, why are they yelling? Why is this? And it's just like, you gotta move on past that. Are they treating you nice? Are they helping you grow? Are they teaching you? Like these Russian guys, they were doing all of that for me. And if I would have caught up on just the how they spoke to me, I would not learn anything. I would not be in the position that I am today. I would have quit and just moved on just because of something so simple as looking past just the way this person's talking. I think we need more of that.
I have a question. So I think the best way to like wrap it all up is like, what do both of you perceive as success to you? What is success to you?
I could go first. It's changed over time for me. Of course, I guess when you're young, everybody's has the same, money. It's that successful. Going on vacation, having the big car, having, the best looking girl, blah, 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 blah. It's changed over time to me is now successful is having balance in my life in all aspects of it. And also just striving for what I want, doing something that I like, the podcast. I'm not just going to work on my 9 to 5 or it's a business. It's not a 9 to 5, but it's still not my love. It's not something that I'm like, I want to spend the rest of my life doing this. It does pay the bills. I'm thankful for it. And I'm doing all, and it is so good to me that I'm able to do also what I love while doing that. So that's success to me. Just chasing what you love, whether you make it, as long as you're chasing it and you're striving for it, I think that's success. Because the worst part of life is thinking of what if, or I want to do this, but you're not doing anything to even remotely start or get close to that goal. So success for me is following what you like.
I love that answer. I think it's changed. I think beforehand, definitely more money, more success, more what is the status, and not like I have like power status, but it's like I've done a lot status, successful companies, all this. Nowadays, I think success for me is still having something that's successful, like that you built from the ground up, that has established itself, that has a reputation, whether you make money or not. That's kind of I'm gonna say slightly irrelevant. Obviously, like the life coaching for me, that's a huge success. Like I make no money, I spend money on it, but I save people's lives, literally. And I think, in the sense of there's other things, maybe make money, maybe establish it as a brand, as a name, but also having, relationship that's successful, people that are with you, that love you, friends that are there to be for you, to actually be there. And then, just a support system with family, and then a job that you can succeed at, you do well at, that you appreciate, that treats you well at the end of the day. And like, as you said, the company that you're at,
Yeah.
you love it.
Yeah.
And it's like, even those tense moments.
I thought you were going to say the Russians.
No, even those tense moments you love, but it's developed something in you, and you've seen a different side. So maybe that's also that is as well, this perspective on life changing and adapting to what's in front of you. Life is not always black and white. I think there's certain things that you gotta have in that area. I think when it comes to morals and values, if you don't have them black and white, just slap yourself in the face till you actually develop it.
Yeah.
Because you need to have very just defined boundaries on that, and what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do.
Yes.
Because if that gets moved, then who you are as a person, integrity and everything, that really changes quite a bit.
You're just flip-flopping all the time. It's kind of, yeah.
And where do you stand?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, what do you represent, and what do you tolerate? There's that. But I think the success is like, number one, being happy, and it changes for each person, right? Some could be happy working a minimum wage job. Look, if they're happy, they have the relationship they want, good for them. I'm not here to judge you. You're smiling, you're happy.
That's what counts at the end of the day. That's what matters.
That's what counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My turn. Okay, I'm great. What everybody was waiting for me to speak. So I think happiness comes in different shapes and forms. So for me, there is the idea of happiness. We all grow up with whatever it is that we're lacking. Sometimes we're like, happiness will be this when I achieve this. Happiness. And at one point in time, happiness is almost a decision that you decide, like, okay, I'm in my journey. I'm not where I wanted, but I am happy throughout the journey because I'm going where I need to be. And some people think, when I get here, I'll be happy. When I have this, I'll be happy. And then they get there and they're never happy. So for me, what have changed when I was young, I think happiness for me was a place. It was a thing at the end that I achieved. And for me, happiness now, truly happiness, is the journey. For me, happiness is being consistent. Consistency is what I look for. What I look in jobs, knowing that I'm going to be here the next month, and I'll be the month after, because I know that I'm putting my effort in a place, like I'm putting my fruit is over here, and I know that I'm going to sprout, and it's going to give me whatever it is that I need, but I'll be here. And I think that comes from being, my life had gone up and down so many times, and all in the in-betweens, and nothing had been consistent when it comes on for job, friendships, relationships. They've been all up and down, that all I want is to put my effort somewhere and know that it will be there tomorrow. Doesn't matter how much work it takes, how much it just, I want to put my effort somewhere that I know that I'll be there. All I want from my partner, from my friends, everything is just consistency. I'll be consistent with my behavior. Not perfect, but you will know that I will always give my best. My best may look different in every way, shape, or form, but I'll be here. And I want my job, what I like, my friends, my family to feel the same way that, listen, we may not be perfect, but we will be here tomorrow.
Wow. Good. I think those are three great answers, and I think it's a good spot to leave it at, guys. It was really fun. I feel like we've been doing this for 2 hours now. We probably could still be here longer.
Yeah, for sure.
There's plenty of other topics that I would definitely love to talk to you guys about. I think you guys have very good insights on things, different, which is great. This is what I like when I'm speaking to somebody. Like I said, I like to learn and pick people's brains and see and hear different perspectives and different takes of life, so then I could take something and apply it in my own life in my own different way. Again, tell everybody,
tell them where they can find us.
Yes.
Gordon.
Yes. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, straightforward or not.
Nice.
Make sure to follow us, please.
Follow, subscribe, guys. Again, all my followers, go give them a thumbs up, subscribe, and like I said, you guys are definitely going to hear different perspective in their podcast and a lot of different topics. That's what they do. And
I will pop up in this show, and I will be in this one too. And this.
yes,
and just say
yes.
Imagine every single one. I was just
Yeah, the Spanish guys are fun. You guys are welcome on those too.
I'll come and say hola, adios. Leave. Can you imagine? That would be fun. So just walk. I'm like hola, adios.
Leave.
Just walk away.
In and out. That's it.
That's it. That's
Who
it.
was that?
Or just the whole entire time, just sit there and not say a word. And the whole entire time, people are like, "Who was that guy that
Who
was
was
there?
just sitting there?
Who was just sitting there?" Imagine.
Have fun with it. Well, there you guys have it. E.D.J. Studios was the E.D.J. podcast. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.